Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Woodbine Racetrack here on Sunday. It is July the 2nd, 2017. We're going to look at all the stakes races on today's program from Woodbine, but before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. It's a great card from Woodbine. Stakes races are just top notch, and the Queen's Plate is top notch this year also. So let's get on to it. The races I'll be looking at: the stakes races 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, and 12. The fourth race from Woodbine here on his Queen's Plate day. It's the 64th running of the Highlander Stakes, Grade 2, purse $250,000. It's a field of 8 horses going the distance of ground of 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs on the E.P. Taylor turf course. Starting in 2019, I believe, they're going to have the return. I don't know if they're going to call it this anymore, but they're going to have the return of the Marshall turf course as it used to be, or the inner ring. The standard track is going to be converted back to a turf course again, so that's going to be fun. I like more turf races, and I'll probably bet on more races from Woodbine then. But this race is a great one, so it's always a great sprint race. I like the number 4 horse in this one, Green Mask. I'm going to go 4-6-2 in the trifecta, or the tricast if you want to go by that. 4-6-2. My top pick, number 4, Green Mask. 2-1, Javier Castellano gets the leg up for Brad Cox, who trains this 6-year-old gelding at a Mazine mast. Most recently on the 10th of June at Belmont, 6 furlongs into Jaipur. Source finished second by a half length, and a very quick Jaipur is the favorite. He was closing up well at the end, but Disco Partner just held on, but it wasn't a half bad race. It wasn't world record time at 105 and 3/5 of a second, so they were really moving that day. Start before at Churchill, 5 furlongs, good ground in the turf sprint. Horse won by 2 lengths, got the good speed to have a good closing kick from it, and this horse just opened up a very easy victory that day. And then the Grade 2 Shakertown at Keeneland, horse finished second by neck. He just missed, closed up well at the end. This horse is a closer, and I expect this horse to be closing at the end. He ran this race last year. He finished second by a neck and just nearly won. Disappointing beat, but again, he ran his heart out. I think he'll run a big one here today. He's been training here in New York at Belmont. 3 furlong workout on the inner turf course in 35 and 3. So I think he's ready. Watch out for this one to run a big one. So to recap my bets for the 4th from Woodbine, it's the 64th Highlander. I'm going to go with the 4 horse Green Mask. I'm going to go 4-6-2 in the tricast, or the trifecta. To race number 6 now from Woodbine. The 6th race is the 115th running of the King Edward Stakes, Grade 2, purse $175,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. Field of 9 horses going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters for international viewers, or 1 mile on the E.P. Taylor turf course. It's the biggest turf course in North America. My top pick in this one, I like the number 6 horse, Shakimat. I know I probably mispronounced the horse's name wrong, but pardon that. I'm going to go 6-3-1 in the tricast, or the trifecta. 6-3-1, my top pick, number 6, Shakimat. 8-1, Javier Castellano for Roger Atfield, who trains this 4-year-old gelding out of Lonhro. Most recently, this horse has started 28th of May at Woodbine, mile 16th on the E.P. Taylor turf course, an optional 6-2 claimer. Horse finished 3rd by 4 3/4 lengths, was up with the leaders early on, and then kind of weakened out of it. It was the horse's first start in turf this year. I think she might have needed that race, or he might have needed the race. I think coming to the stakes race, second start on turf of the season, this horse should have a better ride, and also the better rider should help also of Javier Castellano. No, not to knock Emma Jane Wilson, but Javier Castellano is one of the best riders in the country. Start before Woodbine, 6.5 furlongs, made 7th in an optional 80 claimer. Horse finished 5th by 7.5 lengths. Set the pace early on, then kind of hit the wall. I don't know why they took this horse sprinting. He's not a sprinter. He's more towards a miler. He ran the Queen's Plate last year, finished 5th in it. Set the pace early on, then weakened out of it. Before that, finished 2nd in the plate trial and 9th in the American Turf at Churchill on Derby weekend of 2016. But before that, won the Transylvania very nicely at Keeneland. Won the Coronation Futurity as a 2-year-old at Woodbine, and finished 3rd in a Cup and Saucer. I expect this horse to be on the lead today, and if this horse could set some easy fractions, I think he could win it here. That's what I'm expecting this horse to do, so watch out for him. So to recount my bets for the 6th from Woodbine, it's the 115th King Edward. Going to go with the 6 horse. Going to go 6-3-1 in the tricast, or the trifecta. To race number 8 now from Woodbine. The 8th race is, again, one of my favorite races of the Woodbine season, and it's always good to have these mile-and-a-half races. The eighth race from Woodbine is the 13th running of the Singspiel Stakes, Grade 3, purse $125,000. It's for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of about, not about, we have a field of exactly 7 horses going the distance of ground of 2,400 meters, or 1 mile and 1/2 on the E.P. Taylor turf course. Turf stakes races are really uh, stacked up today. My top pick in this one, I like the number 6 horse here. Again, number 6, Bullard's Alley. I'm going to go 6-3-1 again in this race. 6-3-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. My top pick, number 6, Bullard's Alley, out of Flower Alley, who's out of Distorted Humor. Most recently, this horse had a start on the 9th of June here in New York at Belmont, 2 miles in the Belmont Gold Cup. Horse finished 6 by 3 1/4 lengths that day. Didn't have anything in the straightaway. Maybe the 2 miles was a little bit too long for this horse. I think cutting back in distance today to the 1.5 miles to this turf course, he should have a lot better of a run. Also gets the booking of Javier Castellano, which I think is a great booking. But start before at Church Downs, 1.5 miles in Louisville handicap. Horse finished third by 5 1/4 lengths. Closed up well at the end, but he closed up a little bit too late. But before that, he finished 6th in the Elkhorn. It was against tougher horses on a very wet turf course. I don't think he really did well that day. 4th in the Muniz Memorial and 4th in the Fairgrounds handicap down at the Fairgrounds this winter. He hasn't won in quite a while, but I think he's due for a victory. He should really like the long stretch on this turf course. And like I said, I think I'm going to expect a good run for this horse, so watch out for him. So to recap my bets for the 8th from Woodbine, it's 13th Singspiel. I'm going to go with the 6 horse Bullard's Alley. I'm going to go 6-3-1 in the tricast of the trifecta. To race number 9 from Woodbine, the 9th race is the 22nd running of the Dance Smartly Stakes. Grade 2, purse $175,000. It's your fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upwards. Field of 8 horses going the distance of ground of 2,000 meters, or 1 mile and 1/4 on the E.P. Taylor turf course. 1.25 miles. My top pick in this one, I like the number 5 horse, number 5, Suffused. I'm going to go 5-4-2 in the tricast of the trifecta. 5-4-2. My top pick, number 5, Suffused. 8-5, Jose Ortiz for Jedmont Farm. For Belmont, who trains his 5-year-old mare out of Champs-Élysées. Most recently on the 9th of June at Belmont, 1 1/4 inner turf course in New York. Horse finished 5th by 2 1/4 lengths behind Hawksmoor. Hawksmoor was on lead all throughout, had a very easy victory. But this horse, just didn't have the best of closing kicks. Looking at her running line, her races at Belmont on the inner turf course going under weren't the best races. The only race she won on the inner turf course was the Belmont Coronation Stakes. That was at almost 2 miles, at 7.5 furlongs. This horse won very nicely, but she just didn't do well there. But throughout those Belmont inner turf course races, she's done a lot. She's done very good. Other than that, start before her last one came at Belmont Park, mile 3. It's on the Widener turf course in Sheepshead Bay. Horse in second by 2.5 lengths behind C. Khaleesi, who sadly is going to be out the rest of the year, I believe, with the injury. This horse, closed up well at the end, but closed up a little bit too late. Disappointing beat, but before that, she won the very one very nicely at Gulfstream Park at a mile 3/16, which I personally think was a little bit too short of a distance, but this horse opened up easy and won easy. But before that, won the La Puevante handicap at Gulfstream on Pegasus Day very nicely, and finished second in the E.P. Taylor Stakes over this turf course last year, nearly winning. I think she should love this turf course again. Has a very good post draw. Watch out for this one. So to recap my bets for the 9th from Woodbine, it's the 22nd Dance Smartly. I'm gonna go with the 5 horse Suffused. I'm gonna go 5-4-2 in the tricast of the trifecta. To race number 10 now from Woodbine, it's the featured on the program. The 10th race, the 158th running of the Queen's Plate Stakes. Purse $1 million. It's for 3-year-olds. Folds in Canada. Field of 13 horses going the distance of ground of 2,000 meters, or 1 mile and 1/4 on the E.P. Taylor turf course. 1 mile and 1/4. My top pick in this one, I like the number 3 horse, Holy Helena. I'm going to go 3-12 in the tricast of the trifecta. 3-12. My top pick, number 3, Holy Helena. 3-1. Luis Contreras is on this 3-year-old filly out of Go Sapper, who's out of Austin again. So this horse has the 1 mile and 1/4 distance in her pedigree. It's trained by Jimmy Jerkins. Most recently, this horse has started the 11th of June at Woodbine, a mile and eighth into Woodbine Oaks. This horse won by a length that day, sat back early, but really got a good closing kick at the end and just drove an easy, clear victory that day. I think with the extra furlong today, this horse should have an even better run, and I expect this horse to run a big one. Start before May the 12th here in New York at Belmont Park, mile 16th in the main special weight for 75. Horse won by 3/4 length. Again, sat back early, but got the lead stretch drive, and then took off clear. Another easy victory. And then here in Queens at Aqueduct, 6.5 furlongs in main special weight for 58,000. Horse from second by 2 3/4 lengths. First time out sprinting. I don't think this horse is a sprinter. She's a router. Her last start was very good. She's been training well since the Woodbine Oaks. I think she'll run a very good race here today with a good post draw, so watch out for Holy Helena to beat the boys. So to recap my bets for the 10th from Woodbine, it's the 158th running of the Queen's Plate. Gonna go with the 3-horse Holy Helena. Gonna go 3, 2, 12 in the tricast, the trifecta. To race number 12 now from Woodbine, the 12th race, final stakes race you'll be looking at on the card from Woodbine. It is the 14th running of the Charlie Barley Stakes, price $100,000. It's for 3-year-olds. Field of 9 3-year-olds going the distance of ground of 1,600 meters or 1 mile on the E.P. Taylor Turf Course. And I show the diagram. It just gives me a second to look down at my notes, so just bear with me. My top pick in this one, I like the number 2 horse. Number 2 Made You Look. Gonna go 284 in the tricast of the trifecta. 284. My top pick, number 2 Made You Look. 2-1 Javier Castellano again. I have him like 5 times today. I'm telling you. Tad Pletcher trains this one. Most recently on the 6th of May at Churchill, mile 16th in the American Turf. Horse from 7th by 10 3/4 lengths. Got bumped at the start and didn't have anything left over. It just wasn't her day to win. And the turf course was very wet, so just throw that race out. Start before March 4th at Gulfstream Park, mile 16th in the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth. Horse finished 9th by 42 lengths behind Guinevere, Practical Jokes. Just didn't have anything that's a wide poster going mile 16th at Gulfstream's not ideal. Just throw that race out. But before that, on the turf, finished third in the Kitten's Joy Stakes, closing up well, and won the Deanna Beach Stakes at Gulfstream very nicely. I think this horse will like the turf course with a bit of a longer stretch. Good post draw. Just watch out for this one to run a big one. If you're going to play a multi-race wager, I would single this horse along with the Holy Helena and the Queen's Plate. So to recap my bets for the 12th from Woodbine, it's the 14th Charlie Barley Stakes. Going to go with the 2-horse Made You Look. Going to go 284 in the tricast of the trifecta. So good luck to all and follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5.